Gentlemen, welcome to your HSBN Miami Marlins Media Day press conference. Coach, if you could start by introducing yourself and also the players.
Sure. My name's Joe Weber, coach of Columbus High School. To my right is John Velasquez, commit to Stetson University, right-handed pitcher. To my left is Nick Regalado, commit to University of Miami, Dade County Pitcher of the Year. And to his left is John Gonzalez, commit to Stetson, left-handed pitcher.
Well, geez, I got so many different things we can talk to, but I think I'll jump to that. Just talk about having college signees, that being one of the things that is kind of a staple of your program, is you're able to kind of pipeline guys into that next level of baseball.
I think Columbus has had such a great history of getting players into college. We're blessed to get a lot of talent every year, and these three are no exception. All three of them throw really, really well.
What does that mean to you guys as players? That's such a tough part of the process, is to find that right fit and the commit and the paperwork. What's it like for you guys to kind of get to that point and know where you're going to go and kind of have that figured out for you at this point in your high school career?
Well, Coach Weber makes it really easy for us. He helps us a lot in the college process, and he talks to coaches for us, suggests what we should do, where we should visit, and yeah.
Some thoughts from you guys? Same question.
Columbus is more like a small college. We train like a college. Just getting prepared for college and next level.
Talk some about the baseball and talk about the season coming up. Was curious what you guys were thinking about with the new format. You guys had you were 21-4 last year. You won the GMAC, but then a tough loss in districts. All of a sudden, your season's over. This year, that's not the case. Is that something that you guys have kind of talked about? Is how the format really kind of embraces a team like yourself that got snake bit last year?
Yeah, the format is so new. I really don't know what to expect from it. Certainly, I wish it was in effect last year the way.
Yeah, because you guys would have almost certainly have been an at-large team if that had been in the case last year.
I think we would have advanced, but at the end of the day, you still got to beat the team out there. And new format or old format, eventually, if you're not the last one standing, someone's going to have to go home. So I don't know the formula involved in the format and how the teams get ranked, but just try to beat the team out there each day that you're facing, and hopefully at the end of the year your record's good enough that if you are in that situation, we'll be able to advance.
Yeah, really, it's almost serves as an opportunity for a teaching lesson for you to look. Maybe we could still, if it happens this year, but obviously that's not how you want it to work out.
Right.
Talk a little bit about you guys, which is coming up now with the season getting ready to begin. Is being able to host, the first pitch tournament that you've had the last few years.
So we're hosting the preseason classic, and then we host our first pitch tournament as well. And then I think having the nice facility and the lights, we don't really go on the road a whole lot. I think we're on the road like
4 games.
maybe 5 games. So it's really nice to play at home.
Do you guys as players enjoy that, going right into the season? Not just that you get to host it, but it's a little bit more competitive when it's a tournament format.
Yeah, I like it better because everyone sees how our facilities are, and everyone thinks that everything is taken for granted. But then when we come out and play, everyone sees that we actually care. We actually put in the work for everything that we do.
Kind of open their eyes right away.
Yeah.
I was also, again, talking a little bit about the, some of the changes in the way that it opened up scheduling flexibility and this and that. Like in your guys' district, I noticed that the teams aren't really playing each other in the district.
They are. We're a GMAC school, so it was mandated that you play everyone in your district twice.
Really?
Yeah. So we don't have the flexibility that some of the other schools do. So we have to play 8 district games. That was mandated
Oh,
by
so
the
it's-
GMAC.
So even with the state changes, it really
Yeah, the
didn't,
GMAC
almost didn't
said-
affect you
Right,
guys.
it really didn't. The rankings are new, but as far as playing your district games, that stayed the same for us.
So I guess the key is to use that to the same advantage like you guys always have. Obviously, you're going to get a look at the teams that you're going to be facing, and probably those games will help determine the seeding when the district tournament comes, since you can have head-to-head results.
Correct.
Is that something you guys have discussed that any ways to use that to your advantage, or is that just looking too far ahead at this point?
That's looking way, we're looking to Monday, Killian, that's it, and then after that, we'll look on Thursday to the next team. We never look ahead.
Well, I guess the question I should be asking is how to get your guys to stay focused just on that one task at hand.
Yeah. Rick, I always preach that it's a long season. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. You take one game, each game as it is, it presents to you. Never underestimate any opponent. And I think when you start looking ahead is when you get caught. And that may have been a situation that happened to us last year. Certainly most of those, we have mostly everyone returning, and I wouldn't expect it to happen to us this year.
And just like Coach said, with most of the guys returning, and it's one of those things that I've always kind of noticed with Columbus is you just have the same group every year, and when they get to their age and they graduate, the next group of guys have kind of been working and getting their spot, and now it's their turn, and it's just a very well-oiled machine. What's that like for you guys as players, starting as young guys and then being into a role like you are now as one of the leaders?
Columbus baseball is like a long process. Like we go through freshman ball, JV ball, and varsity ball, and like that gets us really prepared for like varsity for like our junior and senior year.
Yeah, because I mean, especially in Columbus, it's very, very rare that a freshman has got any shot of making a varsity team. You really, really have to earn those jobs.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like to have to put in that kind of work and the accountability to earn your spot like that?
It's like a farm system, just like the big leagues. You gotta work your way through to make it varsity, and then you gotta stay in your spot, earn your spot in varsity.
Keeps you humble too.
Yeah, and I think it helps them down the road in college as well, and then the next level after that they learn how to compete and put in their time, and there's always someone that's pushing them, behind them, and even John Jay was out taking BP with us the other day and talked about how he came through. He didn't make the JV as a freshman; he made the freshman team, and how he every time he looked around, there was always a good player, and it just drove you to compete even more.
Yeah, especially on a roster like yours, like you said, that's almost part of it too, is to learn how to be a good teammate, even though it's a guy you might be competing with a little bit.
Well, you said the magic word, teammate, right? So if you're not a good teammate, then everything we do doesn't work. It wouldn't matter how good you are, etc. It all starts with being a good teammate, and then from there, everything falls into place.
Wanted to ask a little bit because I'm interested and didn't know much about it too. I think it's a really cool thing is you're playing a game at the University of Miami for the Be the Light Foundation. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
You want to talk on that?
Well, our teammate Ari passed away a few years ago, and that's a foundation they made after he passed away. And then Belen, which is like always been the Columbus's rival, also has some kids that were friends with Ari there, so like they wanted to combine the game and make it for the foundation. And it's gonna be they're gonna make a lot of money for the foundation.
What does that mean to you guys to be able to? I mean, obviously you get to play at UM, which is really cool, but it's for something bigger than baseball too.
Shows the brotherhood that we all have at Columbus. Shows how we all care for each other, and that we're lucky to even get an extra day when our friend didn't get an extra day. But that just drives us to be better every day.
Well said. Well said. Coach, I mean, I talked about it a little bit with you, but I know in Miami it is something that does matter. you guys won the GMAC last year, and you know, obviously you'll be going in this year if you get the chance to play in it again as the defending. You know, that's a title that I know in Miami that does matter. Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, it's an honor to play for the GMAC. The biggest thing is it gets you 3 more games on your schedule to get you prepared for the playoffs. But I would certainly trade that in for a win in the district and a regional and everything else. So it's just part of the process of trying to get to our ultimate goal, which is the state championship. It's just one more step along the road that you know you're going to see some good opponents, and hopefully they battle test you for what's ahead.
That's pretty much all the questions that I had. The only other thing left that I hadn't touched base on is talk a little bit about the coaching staff and the support group that you have around you in place, because I know how essential they are to what you guys do.
I am absolutely the luckiest coach around, because I have such a incredible coaching staff, and the fact that the school allows me to have so many only helps the kids, because we almost have I think we're up to 8 or 9 coaches.
It's almost like a coach for every 2 players,
yeah,
more or less.
Exactly. We got a catching coach, we got infield coaches, we got base running coaches, outfield coaches, 2 pitching coaches. So it's just allows more eyes out there, more guys with a lot of experience, when it comes to decision making and things like that. So yeah, we are truly blessed in that fashion.
Just like he had said too, it kind of the farm system. It's very similar to like a college program. I would imagine that they'll be more comfortable when they get to the next level, and that's sort of the norm there.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Kind of like the Patriots.
It's got to make it easier for you guys as players to not only have so many coaches, you got somebody specialized that you can talk to about a specific thing, and just so many different relationships too. What's it like for you guys as players to have that sort of a staff?
Well, like you said, there's so many coaches for them to help us that we take little things from each and every coach, and we implement in our game, and that just helps the whole team.
Well, guys, that's everything that I have. Again, I appreciate you very much for coming. It's great to see Columbus, and I'm very excited for the season ahead. Go out and get it done, and hopefully we'll get to do this again at Hammond.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.